Well, when your children are having heartbreak or anyone you know, it's tough to deal with, and you always want to say something. Well, sometimes we say too much. Joining us today, Father David Ross, and he's talking about an article that says what not to say to your heartbroken kid. And this was kind of about listening, right? And maybe not throwing those texts out or calling all the time.
Exactly. Well, I extrapolate from that article to talk about relationships in general. Years ago, Stephen Levine was a psychotherapist at Case Western, and he used to meet with, I happened to be at one of the, a lawyer for the Catholic Church, and he happened to meet with the lawyers down in Columbus as we were preparing to do some work together throughout the state. And he mentioned the fact that when the people fall in love, the brain produces a chemical called phenylethylamine, in addition to dopamine and norepinephrine. But what happens is, as this chemical increases in us, it's so almost addictive. It's a natural amphetamine. So this chemical is really found among the kids when they first fall in love, when they're infatuated. And so what happens is we, as adults, think that we're going to be very logical in terms of helping them understand what to get over when they fall in love and they break up. But it's true not only with kids, but with a lot of other people too, with most people. So for example, when couples come to me in preparation for marriage, I say to the fella, it's really important that you take your wife out on a date every week. And you don't have to go to a movie. You don't have to go to dinner. It's best, did we ever talk about this before?
I don't know.
I forget. Don't go to a movie, you don't have to take her out to dinner or anything like that. It'd be nice, but go to a place that's quiet. I suggest you go to Bristol Lake or something like that. And you say to your wife these words, what have you been feeling? What have you been feeling? Don't say, how do you feel? Because she'll say, I don't feel anything. But you say, what have you been feeling? Now, there are 4 basic emotions: anger, fear, love, and hate. Every other emotion is a derivative of anger, fear, love, and hate. So when you ask her how she's feeling, if she trusts you, she'll start talking about. Now, here's what men do. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So we've heard all that.
Men won't talk about it.
No, but what happens is, as soon as the wife starts to talk about it, or your girlfriend or somebody like that starts to talk, men feel uncomfortable with emotions. So here's what they do. They'll interrupt within 10 seconds and say, well, here's what you got to do, especially if it's something painful. You got to do this, 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 this. So I say to the fella, here's the secret to a great marriage in my estimation. And I've been around the block for 49 years doing counseling. Just shut up. Don't say one word at all. Just be totally quiet. And if she starts to attack you, or if she talks about her mother or her mother-in-law or whomever like that, just sit there and go like this. Just go like that. Just listen. Do some active listening without trying to give any advice. Because when you start to give advice to your girlfriend or your wife, it says, in essence, well, you're stupid and I'm the smart one here.
Right.
But in reality, she knows the answers. She just wants somebody to listen. Now, this is true not only in relationships like that, but in husband and wife, but in any relationship whatsoever. So oftentimes what we do is we just fill the void with words, like I'm doing right now. So we fill...
No, but we worry about that, too much silence, but we also feel like they're telling me this stuff, so they want advice from me. Well, maybe they don't want the advice. They just want me to listen and be like the good friend or the good parent or the good wife or whatever.
And that's exactly what a good parent will do. Just listen. And any advice you're going to give is going to go in one ear and out the other. They just want somebody to be compassionate with them. This is why when I go to funerals, and I go to the funeral homes, you don't need to fill the time telling the person about how great the husband was. It's nice, but oftentimes we feel so uncomfortable. So the thing that I do is I simply go up to the person, put my arms around the individual, give the individual a hug, and that does more than anything else.
Right.
That says more than any words could possibly offer, any comfort the words could possibly offer.
It's hard, though, to listen. I mean, you got to train yourself practically, you know, because you want to say something. Well, Father, this is this.
We all do. We all do. We all look for the answers, but the answer is in silence.
All right. Very good. Be better listeners. Thanks for coming today, Father.
Thanks, Holly.
All right. Don't go away. Noon Edition continues in a moment.